How is it going, PokeMoshPit? My name is Noah, YouTube name NoJNP, and I'm here today to give you an OU battle against the Thezeldagamer314. This is a battle I had on my stream a couple of days ago. Features two rain teams. If you guys like this battle, please give me a big like. If not, please give me a dislike. Leave some comments about how I did, and check out our channels that are in the description. So basically, like I said, this is a rain team battle. I decided to not lead off with my Politoed, thinking that he was going to. So I want to lead off with my Magnezone, because if he did lead off with the Toad, I'll be able to go for the Volt Switch and get some initiative. Instead, he's going to lead off with a Terrakion, and either he goes for the Earthquake or the Close Combat. That would hurt my Magnezone so much. So first turn, I'm going to have to switch out. I decided to go into my Politoed because, you know, the weather that my Politoed has isn't that effective because my opponent has the same weather. If he had a different weather, such as sun or hail or sandstorm, I would be in a lot different situation with death fighting my Politoed so easily. But I saw that damage and I'm like, wow, that is a banded Terrakion. So I'm gonna have to switch into my Ferrothorn, who should be able to take the Rock type move pretty well. And now I can either go for some entry hazards, or I can go for the Leech Seed, or I can go for the Thunder Wave, which I'm actually going to do. I have a lot of options with this Ferrothorn, which he probably is going to bring in the Scissor for a good reason, because he could set up on it, but I didn't know at the point. I thought he was going to go for the U-turn, so I'm going to switch out next turn. I'm going to Death Fodder my Politoed, thinking he was going to go for the U-turn, and then I can start countering the Scissor, but instead he's going to go for the Swords Dance, and at +2 and priority, it doesn't even matter if he's paralyzed. He will be able to take out my Politoed next turn. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be all okay because I do have a Scissor counter. I do have the Magnezone. Although it is in the rain, HP Fire will do a significant amount. And I thought whatever move he was going to go for, it wouldn't be able to break my Substitute. But instead, as you can see, this +2 Bug Bite is able to break my Substitute. So I thought it was going to always do this. It wasn't a situation of min and max damage. So I'm going to go for another HP. I'm just going to go for an HP Fire. Not going to go for any Substitutes. And unfortunately, I do get the crit right here. It will be able to take out a Scizor, and that is a big threat out of the way for me. He's going to bring a Latios next turn. He's going to go for the Surf, and although it is rain boosted, it does not take me out right here, which basically shows me that he is not spexed. He's probably either Scarfed or Expert Belt, because I don't see an item at the end of this turn as I switch into my Starmie, which is good because either he's Expert Belt and I get to scare him away with the Ice Beam, or he is Scarfed and the Surf really won't be doing too much and I can go for the Ice Beam instead. He's just going to go into his Jirachi, which is probably a special defensive, and I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump next turn, thinking, you know, it's rain boosted, I'm a water type, it's all good. It doesn't do anything, which definitely he's a special defense one. He's going to go for the Thunder. Super effective. Thankfully, it doesn't paralyze me, but anyway, no matter what, I would have switched out because paralyzed or not, I won't be able to take out the Jirachi next turn. I'm going to go into my Ferrothorn, thinking that he can go for another Thunder, maybe even paralyze me. I don't mind, I just want to get some entry hazards. But next turn, he's going to go into his Politoed. Interestingly enough, I might have predicted that, or then again, I could have easily just gone for some entry hazards. And him being faster, he can go for a Scald and burn me. Instead, I'm going to go for another Paralyze, cripple another Pokemon, and now with the Power Whip, I will almost be able to take out this Politoed. You know, Ferrothorn has decent attack. Unfortunately, I'm just going to lead him in the red, and then he's going to go for the Scald, and he's going to burn me. Not going to complain about the burn because I am faster, so, as you saw, the Scald really didn't do too much. So I have a chance to get us some entry hazards and get some good damage going on his team as he switches around his Pokemon for the rest of the battle. So I'm going to get us some Stealth Rocks right here, and interestingly enough, he's going to go for the Parasong. Now, Parasong is a weird attack on a Politoed. I actually carry it on my own, but for reasons that I need it for my team to prevent Pokemon from setting up. But basically, when I see Parasong on another Politoed, I know it has Protect as well. So next turn, I thought he was going to go for the Protect, which means that I'm not going to go for an attack. I'm going to go for a Spikes, because after that turn, he's probably not going to go for another Protect, predicting me to go for another entry hazarding move. So next turn, I'm able to get off a Power Whip, but instead, I'm going to predict him to switch out at this turn, predicting me just to get up some more entry hazards. So I'm going to go into my Starmie. He is going to go into his Terrakion. I'm like, yes, I caught this Terrakion right here. I'm going to do some massive damage with a Hydro Pump. I know it's banded, so I know I'm going to outspeed. And then he brings in this Jirachi. I'm like, yes. Instead, I'm going to be able to two-shot this with a Hydro Pump. It's going to be awesome. Jirachi out of the battlefield, but oh wait, I missed the Hydro Pump, which is really unfortunate, which means I'm not going to be able to take out this Jirachi. It could easily go for a Wish Protect and just stall my Hydro Pumps out. So I'm going to switch out into my Ferrothorn. He's going to go to a Raikou. I'm not really sure why, but this is not a good situation for me as well right here, because basically he could easily be that a very popular subset on a rain team, probably sub Calm Mind, and with the burn I really didn't think a Power Whip will be able to take out a substitute. Surprisingly though, it does. I don't know if it was min or max damage right here, but I will be able to take out a substitute. And I'm thinking at this point, I'm just going to go for Power Whips again and again until I die, because hopefully he kills me when he doesn't have a sub, which means he's going to probably be at a lowish amount of HP, and then I can bring another Pokemon in, such as my Starmie, that will outspeed, go for a Hydro Pump, and take out this Raikou. So I'm going to continue to go for the Power Whips. He's going to continue going to go for the Calm Minds, and unfortunately next turn he's going to go for one too many Calm Minds, because after he does it, I actually land a crit with the Power Whip, which will be able to take out the Raikou. Again, I'm sorry about the crits. His Raikou really didn't have that much of a role in this battle because of that crit. But anyway, that leads me to him getting a free switch in. He's going to bring in the Terrakion. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm just going to see what he's going to lock himself into. And he actually overpredicts. Thankfully, he's going to go for an Earthquake, which, as you're going to see, it is not going to be able to KO me, so I'm going to go for a Power Whip, which brings him down to a really low amount of HP. And at the end of this turn, I still have HP left with my Ferrothorn. I know he's locked into the Earthquake, so I can switch out into my Gengar, which it really doesn't matter because his Earthquake cannot touch me because I have the Levitate ability, which means his Terrakion is going to have to switch out, which means when it brings it in next turn, or next time it brings it in, the Terrakion is just going to die for entry hazard, so he's going to leave it in right here as Death Fodder. So now he's going to bring in his Jirachi, and I decide to Death Fodder another Pokemon of mine. I don't want my my Gengar to die just yet. It is a cool Scarf set with Trick and Destiny Bond. It's pretty much just, if I need to kill a Pokemon on the other side of the field, I know how to kill it with. But I'm going to bring out my Ferrothorn right here as Death Fodder. I see this Jirachi, it is below 50% health, so I can bring in my Banded Dragonite, the star of this rain team, go for the rain boosted waterfall, which will be able to take out this Jirachi. My multi-scale is still not broken, but then he brings in one of his last Pokemon, or his last Pokemon, the Latios. I don't want to waste my what's that called? The Dragonite just yet. So I'm going to bring in my Magnezone just as Death Fodder, see what he's going to lock himself into if he is that Scarf set. He's just going to go for the Draco Meteor. It means he's at -2, which therefore I can go into my Starmie and just pretty much scare him out again, going to go for the Ice Beam. And then he brings in the Politoed, which after the entry hazards and after the Ice Beam, I will be able to take it out. So I believe after that, he has one Pokemon left, which will be his Latios. He's going to bring it in. I basically have this game. If I don't kill it off with the Starmie, I will be able to take it out with my Dragonite, or really whatever Pokemon I have left. I do outspeed it, which means he isn't Scarfed. He's probably an expert belt set, but it doesn't really matter at that point. That will be game. It was a very close battle, Zelda Gamer. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, again, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Subscribe to PokeMoshPit, and have a great day, guys.